So here we are, episode 200. 200! Listen, I get it. Small milestone. But you know what? It's a big stepping stone. As I, am about to post this video, doing the editing, I'm really thinking about, the years, how did this start? And, as it's slowly snowballing, looking back, friends that I've made all over the world, through this channel, interacting with other channels and making a lot of, meeting a lot of cool people. It's been a ride. It's been a ride. I'm close to hitting that 500 subscriber mark. So, again, small accomplishment. That's what she said. And you know what, though? Having a ball. You guys are the best. So here we are. Episode 200, baby. Let's keep it going. What? Here we are, man. Episode 200, baby. And look who we got right here. The one, the only Anthony Cappola right here in the house.
Making it rain, baby. Making it rain. Fort Lee, New Jersey, 07024. Here we go.
Hey, this is where it all began. Grew up in Fort Lee. Grew up in Powell Park. Rivals. So now here we are, 200th episode, back in Fort Lee, baby. So he brought up, I've never been here before. We're at the
Gyro Project.
Gyro Project. The Gyro.
That's true.
Right?
In Greek. Polikala.
The Gyro Project. We got the tzatziki sauce. We got regular
tzatziki,
water.
yeah.
I got the soroti Greek sparkling water.
He's got the fancy bottle.
And first we're going to do this, then we'll get into some things. So he got the chicken gyro, I got the beef. Woo, look at that, he's getting in there. Man, he's getting in there. And listen, they did it the right way. A lot of places don't do the fries. And that's how they actually do it in the street carts of Greece.
True.
Is they stick fries in there. A lot of places don't do that.
True.
So, and a lot of people don't realize that. This is the right way to do it. This is actually the proper way to do it.
The man's right. I'm not going to argue with it. He's right. All right, so
here's what we got.
Can I say, go ahead, yeah. Feels good in the hand.
Oh, yeah.
Substantial weight. You know what I would say this, Pete? This is a good size to hold. Like, you could conceivably drive and eat this.
Ooh.
But that's the pro of this size. But the downside, I would say, some people may say, it's not big enough, maybe. But I like the handheld size of it. It's a very compact size, as opposed to other gyros that are kind of big and sloppy. This is nice. It's tight. You can hold it, walk, eat. I don't know.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say not big enough.
No, I'm saying.
I mean, I know what you're saying.
For me,
but
it's big enough.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. And me too. I could eat.
There are some people that might say, "Oh, it's not big enough." There's some critics that might say, "I think it's the perfect size." In my opinion.
I think so too.
Right.
The size matter. I mean.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Big shout out to the trays. Very Greek. So,
Very
by the
Greek
way,
looking.
Yeah, when you come to the Gyro Project in Fort Lee, and you should, it's a understated elegance. So it's casual, but it's got a little panache to it. It could be a date night. You can bring the family here.
Oh yeah.
It's got that, as you can see above us, kind of a woodsy, earthy feel. Very clean, very clear, open spaces. So it's a nice place to come and have a lunch or a dinner with friends, family, business, whatever. Highly recommend it.
I'm going to start off with saying, honestly, hands down, ooh, man, then look at the size of the fries. That's what they're packing in this, as it should be. I'm going to first of all say, honestly, no BS, this might be one of the tastiest tzatziki sauces I've had. You could actually really, the cucumber, you could taste it in that.
Has that note, yeah.
It really, really does. It's the tzatziki sauce is solid, man.
Wow.
That is solid.
Go for 2, baby. You're right about the cucumber.
Yeah. No doubt. And every bite, you get a little bit of everything in it, which is perfect. So with that said, and I love my gyros, I'm just diving right in here, bro. I'm going with the Gyro Project, right? Gyro Project? Is that where we're at? Gyro Project, Fort Lee, NJ. I'm going with this. I'm going 8.6. Which is actually, I don't know if you see my scores, that's a very good score. 8.6 on their gyro right here. I got the beef and lamb. That's what I'm going with. Boom.
I'm right behind you, or maybe in front of you. Although I'm not as, this is what you do. I mean, you have this show, so I defer to you. You're definitely the master. I'm a novice, but I would say, I would give this a solid 8.75. Yeah, and I mean, we've all had.
Pick it up a notch.
Yeah, well,
Up a notch.
that's right. We've all had gyros out there, right? I mean, especially if you're in the New York City area. But this is, I would say, is very, very good. I mean, and maybe I would give them higher, but I don't want to like pump their ego up. You got to keep them honest. You know what I'm saying? But it's a very, very good gyro, and it tastes great, and it's it's a good food.
Being the 200th episode, and we are now going with our first live guest. And you want to talk about literally two totally opposite ends of the spectrum colliding here. And why do I say that? Because you guys, see my videos, you know what I'm about. And then you got Cappola. He hosts the show Wellness Week.
Right.
So you want to talk about oil mixed with vinegar on what I do and what he talks about? It's like, but here's the funny thing, and I'm going to get into something here. We're going to make this a little bit longer of a video than usual.
Thank you. It's 200, baby.
It's 200. And to begin with, before you even got into the YouTube world, I mean, this guy, teacher, author, coach. I mean, you coached what? Football? Wrestling, tennis? And you still play up to this day.
Yeah, I compete in tournaments and I coach tennis, yeah.
So he's still doing all of that. DJ.
I am a DJ.
And I mean, when I say probably hands down, one of, I'm going to say top 3 funniest human beings that I know. Because you actually even performed like a Gotham.
Yeah, I've done.
Right?
I do stand up. I performed at Gotham in Manhattan, Comedy Cellar, Stress Factory at Rutgers. So I like to do comedy.
And you're very good at it. I mean, I laugh my ass off.
Hey, you should.
I mean, and there was times that we were together and I would just have tears coming down my face. I mean, it's just, it's...
Is he wrong? I mean, yeah.
No, far from it. Far from it.
Thank you. Well, I always...
And I'm going to put a link down here to your channel, because if you watch his show, let me tell you, he keeps it real, he keeps it honest, unlike most people do.
Thank you, Peter.
I mean, he talks about how he was on the Palisades Park State Championship team. He's not Al Bundy and says how he scored 4 touchdowns. He'll straight up tell you, no, my role for us winning was to be on the side, getting beat up by the starters. He's not afraid to say it. And that's what I love about it. Because in today's society, everybody's got to be a star. And if they perceive that, oh my God, my kid's not, then that means that automatically you're a failure. how horrible is like what kind of a society are we living in here?
That's
but
true.
That's what it comes down to.
That's true, and I'll expand on that. Because I always say that you can be a success, but success is a team effort. Not everybody's going to be the tip of the spear. Not everybody's going to be, the neurosurgeon or the Navy SEAL, but those people, those men and women, need a support staff. So it is a team effort, even in a family, right? Our families. I mean, you're going to have mom and dad, or two parents, or a parent that is the head. But it's a team effort to make that work out. So it doesn't mean you're a failure because you're a bench warmer. I've been a bench warmer in many sports. I've been a starter in many sports. But you learn a lot in each position. The heart is no more important than the brain. The kidneys are no more important than the liver. Everything comes together to make the unit succeed. So, anyways, like your show too.
And that mindset is gone. That mindset is so far gone. I can't tell you how much I see it, in my coaching world. But now. And let me tell you, I use your show, being that I have like a half-hour drive, I use your show as kind of like does it make sense if I say a quasi-podcast? Because I have it on, and that's what I'm listening to while I'm driving home. And the funny thing is, God's the honest truth, most times, you never, true story.
Hit me.
And you started this too. He started something like this for the kids. During one of my routine physicals, my A1C was high.
Right.
Pre-diabetes.
Your sugar level, go ahead.
So, what did I do? Now, everything else is good. Cholesterol, all that, always good. What did I do?
I don't know. What did you do, Peter?
Fred, you started something for the kids. What did I eliminate from my diet?
Well, I would say, really, the big culprits are flour-based products. Your bread, your pastas, your chips, your cookies. I mean, that would help lower your blood sugar. Is that what you're referring to?
Mm-hmm. Almost.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, don't drink your calories. Yeah, don't drink soda, don't drink juices. That's simply, you'll reduce everything by like 20% approximately.
He started no soda Saturday,
no soda,
right?
Yeah, no soda Saturday.
No soda Saturday he started. Yeah, I remember. I don't forget a thing.
Damn.
I don't forget a thing. He started no soda Saturday. So now I don't drink any soda. I keep everything else the same. And believe it or not, what I do is I do the intermittent fasting.
That's good too.
And let me tell you, cholesterol always good. Everything. And what I eat once a day. That's all I eat. Unless like today I'm going to eat dinner though. So, once a week when I do the reviews,
right,
then I kick it up a notch.
It's funny because, so thank you. And, and so to Peter's point, so my show, Wellness Week, and check it out, everybody, Wellness Week. I'm a DJ, but I talk about health and wellness, but not only physically, but mentally too. Physically, spiritually. So, because all of it comes down to, how do we want to live? Do we want to be happier? And we can do that. Obviously, things happen in life that we can't control everything, but we can control how we react. And I always say we can control 8 out of 10 things, And a lot of that is not only what we eat, but, proper exercise, proper sleep hygiene, getting a good night's sleep. That helps our bodies, our minds. Talking to therapists, I'm a big proponent. I always say it on my show. I go to therapy. I always say winners go to therapy. And there's a lot of free options out there if you don't have money or you're on a budget. So Wellness Week, my channel, is also about, just being a better you. So, and it could be about food, but it doesn't have to be about food. It could be, again, about having strong relationships with friends, family, things like that. I did a show on getting yourself a dog, how important animals are that make our lives better, if you can. Anyway, so thank you. And by the way,
not even that. You had the one thing, and I'm getting to that area now in life, that you had the one show, The Talk.
Oh.
The Talk.
You got teenagers.
With the kid. So, I mean, he doesn't just do like he said, you don't just do like physical health.
Right. It's mental.
It's mental, and he's
spiritual.
And again, let's take it to another level. How many guys are going to go on there and say that, I go see a therapist? Because they're all like, me?
Not me, bro.
Come on, get out of here.
I'm fine.
He goes straight up and says,
right.
Yeah. And listen, and let me tell you, 99 out of 100 people out there, you're speaking to one. Why are you hiding it?
Right.
It's like
we all have problems.
They make it seem like it's such like a
it's taboo.
The Scarlet Letter.
Or you're weak.
You know?
Right. when
it's crazy.
We all suffer with stuff. So especially us guys, we have to stop pretending that there's no problem, everything's fine. Men have higher rates of all diseases, suicide, mental health issues because we don't open up about it. I'm not saying go yell in the street, but you can be discreet. Talk to your priest, your rabbi, your imam. Talk to somebody. You know, it's important to talk to somebody. You can't harbor this stuff. So my show talks a lot about that too. And are we losing the camera? Oh, I got you. I'm just gonna take executive. I'm sorry, dude.
The Italians with the hand.
Yeah,
with the hand in there somehow.
I didn't want this film. I didn't want the phone. I didn't want the phone to drop. But anyways, thank you. Yeah, you're right. And so I think strength comes to if you can talk to somebody. Again, you don't have to make it go on television. But thank you very much. And by the way, I just want to say, your show too. You know, the show that you're doing here is also an asset to people because it gets people away for a little bit, and you bring joy to people to watch. And that's important for mental health, you know.
I hope you 3 people that watch me are listening to this.
No, but it's true. I mean, you know, like your show is more than just food. People watch it, and it's a release. It's a way to kind of get away from your woes and the bullshit for a little bit, and enjoy something and laugh. And that has a lot of power.
And even for me though, because for me now, this started out as something that my kid wanted to do.
Right.
And now look who's doing it.
Right.
He wants nothing to do with it.
You got to give your son some credit.
You
right?
know, I mean, so now I just use it as, hey, you know, just to go out there, forget things, and you do this.
It's important.
You know, that's what it's about.
We all need to get away a little bit, you know.
And let's not forget also, though, a little shout out to your co-host Magnus,
Dr. Magnus,
who's like on the other side of the country,
PhD in
and he knows his
California.
stuff. He's phenomenal.
Right.
I mean, he really knows his stuff too.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I can't tell you the amount of things I've actually learned from watching you.
And bro,
it's insane.
And I learned too by researching and talking and people giving me feedback and stuff like that too. So, and again, not to gas you up, Peter, but your show is educational also because you're giving people inside scoops on what restaurants, what foods, reviewing. Obviously, it's a little bit different, but there's a knowledge in that too. Like we're doing this show, and people are like, oh, I didn't know about this place, or I didn't know about that food.
That is true.
You know, so
that is true.
It's not. You're also educating people, and again, in your own way, as we all are in our own way. But it's of value. So it's content of value, and so you got to check this guy's show. I mean, if you haven't, now you have. But
so again, down at the bottom, I'm gonna put a link. Seriously. When you're driving home, and the last thing I'm going to say, I'll never forget also, is one of the episodes, you did something about how bad chopped meat is.
Well, yeah.
And I got home, and what's on the table? My wife makes
meat.
burgers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
so you
I just watched the whole episode on not to eat this.
Well, you can get chopped meat if you get ground sirloin.
Well, see, we go to the butcher now.
That's different.
So yeah, now we go to the butcher.
You can get ground filet mignon, but if you're going to a fast food place and you're getting a hamburger or even making your own from a supermarket, ground. I don't want to.
Yeah,
sorry,
listen.
but,
Listen. We only do butcher now. So after I seen, forget it.
Listen, I didn't even know either because I love a good hamburger too. Even though I'm a health nut, I don't forsake myself cake and cookies and have a hamburger pizza. So I'm not some drill sergeant, but yeah, the chopped meat episode, you got to go watch that one. You're not going to want it. Yeah.
No, you won't eat it again. Trust me, you won't eat it again.
Anyways, but yeah, this food's great, and your show's great, and a lot of people that I know that watch your show love it too. So it's a continued success, my man.
And no, you too. And listen, and how you started was during COVID.
Yeah, well, that was the prerequisite. Yeah,
because I was on your show.
That was the prelude to this.
Yeah, because I was on your show.
The Shit Show, it's called.
Yeah, he ran a show during COVID called The Shit Show. And let me tell you something. During probably the darkest time we've lived in, right, in our generation,
the lockdown, bro. I mean, when did that happen in American history?
I mean, outside of, I would say, the tragedy of 9/11, this was probably one of the darkest days that our generation has seen. And everybody was trying to do whatever they could to keep their minds off of things. He ran this show. And I mean, we had the music going, the lights going. I mean, and every night, he did a live show live. You know how hard it is to do a live show and keep up the content consistently? And I was lucky enough, he had called me up and said, listen, come on over, I want you to be on the show.
That's right.
And we went over there, and not the, but I think that was the highest rated show you had,
It
too.
probably was.
So
Yeah,
it was,
honestly, it probably was.
we had a phenomenal time doing that show.
But I did that show because going back to being forthright, I was hurting. I was locked up too, like everybody else. I'm living by myself. I had no one to talk to, no one to come home to. I was like, I need to do something because I'm going to lose my fucking mind. So I said, I know, because don't forget, there was nothing on television, there was no sports, everything was locked down, our country was locked down. And, as bad as 9/11 was, you mentioned 9/11, and that was horrible, but that didn't affect most of the country. It affected the New York tri-state area, and DC. But the lockdown affected really our whole world.
Yeah.
So there was no TV programming, you couldn't go to the movies. So I said, you know what, I'm going to start my own little show called The Shit Show.
And I look forward to it every night, bro. I mean, it was funny.
Everybody was thanking me for doing it, but really, I want to say thank you because it kept me alive and happy too because I needed something to do. So I needed it as much as anybody else. So really, it was a win-win, and it was a variety show. We talked about music and food, and it was light.
Everything.
It was.
Everything.
We didn't talk about social issues. We didn't talk about the lockdown. It was just going back to the good old days. So it was. I appreciate you appreciating me because it benefited me too, and that was the prelude to the show Wellness Week. But when did you start King Ben though? That was 4 years ago. 5 years ago?
Yeah, good memory. 4 years ago was when I started it up.
So right before COVID?
It was probably right before, and my youngest, kids would watch YouTube, and he wanted his own YouTube channel, so I did it. And then, of course, after like 4 months, he was like non-existent anymore.
Right. Oh.
So then I was like, okay, well, then I slowed down a little bit, but then I was like, I'm kind of digging it.
Yeah, and you're doing good.
And you know what it is that where I get like really my kick out of it is, I would say at least right now 12 times, which again, bro, I mean, it's the best feeling ever. And I tell the people, I'll just be like walking into somewhere.
Oh, no, they recognize
Dude,
you? Oh,
no
that's
lie.
Great. That's great.
And I'll be walking into somewhere, and the guy will be like, even in my job.
That's great.
A girl comes in now, and she was like, wait a minute, you're the YouTube guy.
That's so funny.
And I was just like, dude, that's why, like,
Yeah.
I mean, that was just like the coolest thing. You can't replace
and
that.
It's nice to be appreciated.
Yeah,
it's
so
insane. That's what they're doing, and that's why I do it. It's not the only reason, but it is nice to be appreciated. And how many times in our life, through our professional lives, our jobs, are we really appreciated? So that means so much that someone notices you, and
no doubt.
they see you and say, "Oh, thank you," because in essence, they're saying thank you for your content, thank you for what you do, and that's more than money, So,
no, without a doubt, and 100%, I would take that over anything.
Yeah,
without a doubt, bro.
Yeah. So along those lines, so let me ask you: so what's one of your favorite foods to eat? Like mine's lasagna, but what about you? Or go-to?
Go-to, I want to say pizza, but I don't want to be called like...
You're the pizza guy, or you just...
Well, because you have, other people that really do just that. But you know what it is, and what I found, which is not good for my health, but good for the channel, fast food draws a lot of attention.
Well, that's because we all know the same foods versus a local thing.
Right. So that's whereas then you get viewers from everywhere because everywhere has McDonald's, everywhere has Wendy's.
Right. You can relate to that.
The people in Kansas don't have the Gyro Project.
Right.
So it kind of, that's where then you got to draw that fine line and be like, all right, I could do it once a week if I'm going to eat this garbage.
Right.
Meaning fast food. But I know that's going to draw the views in.
Right.
Whereas, as much as I like doing the local pizzerias and stuff, that's only going to draw in
locally,
the people in this area. And a lot of people find me that way.
Right.
Like, let's say, how long has this place been here for, do you know?
Under a couple of months.
Oh, perfect. So now what's going to happen is, people will Google the Gyro Project, and this will come up. And then that's how people will be like, so it's wild how that happens.
Right. Although, inversely speaking, though, you could say this. When you do local joints like this, the person watching this in Oklahoma might be also interested because it's something they don't have there.
Oh, without a doubt.
So, that's odd. That's cool because we don't have that in Kentucky or whatever. So it could be it could be a pro and a con, but also it could be a pro and a pro. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing that's local, but I'm not saying
the only
I'm not saying it's
negative, the only negative thing is they're not searching for it.
correct. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where you're going to kind of
Right.
get a hit or
You lose.
miss.
Yeah, good point.
You know, until you get to like a number, you know, that you're actually established.
Right.
And then it'll be a little bit different of a story.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's that, man.
It was awesome, and no, the Gyro Project, check it out.
Yeah,
and,
definitely,
I
no
mean,
doubt.
This is honestly, if you live in New York City, you can come here. I mean, we could walk into Manhattan right now. That's how close we are to New York City. We're right over the George Washington Bridge here, Gyro Project, and there's a lot of great restaurants in Fort Lee. A lot of great Greek restaurants. You name it, Italian, Irish,
Everything.
Indian, Chinese. You know, Malaysian, whatever you like. I mean, Fort Lee is really another suburb of Manhattan, New York City. So come by, check it out, and you know. And then, by the way, congratulations on his 200th episode. Okay, so that's amazing, and much continued success to you and the channel and the Godfather, the Brooklyn Godfather.
Where's he been? Where's he been?
No, but he's great too, by the way, and you do a great job. And, I look
thanks,
forward to
man.
keep on watching your content.
Yeah, no doubt. But that's it, guys. All right. Next one will be 201. Check it out down below. I'm telling you right now, Wellness Week, it's going to change your life. I promise you that.
Thank you.
It is going to change your life.
Thanks for having me on.
Hey, always, man. Here we go. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.